What is up, everybody? Keith Mitchell here from the Outerhaven Productions. And if you watch any of my content, you know I'm a big fan of Souls-like, and I've been enjoying the hell out of Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. However, I've had a little bit of an issue, not with the game. The game is phenomenal, but I'm having a little bit of a problem with the gatekeeping here, the criticism of the game, or more so, the criticism of players playing the game. And I'm just going to get to it, stop beating around the bush. There are a lot of people out there complaining that the game is too hard, yet they're criticizing people who are using mechanics in the game that were put in the game for people to use. More specifically, I'm talking about the Spirit Ashes and using them to beat bosses. And people are constantly complaining, crying, saying that, that's cheating. This is not how the game is supposed to be played. Why are you doing this? This invalidates your boss fight. And it's just getting to the point where I'm just frustrated with it. I've listened to it. I've talked to people about this. Like, you need to stop being such a pain in the ass, because these are the things in the game that people are allowed to use, and yet it keeps going. So today I just wanted to make this video. I've actually made the video countless times with my head, in my shower, in the car, when my wife is talking to me. So I figured, get it out of my head and let's actually put it in video and see what you think about this as well. Now, I will say that I've already beaten Shadow of the Erdtree when the game was in review, and I love it. I'm still playing it. I'm getting more people addicted to the game. I have a friend playing it now. I'm so sorry, Jordan. You're going to die a lot, but the game is phenomenal and he's enjoying himself. But, I keep going on Reddit and Twitter and other places, seeing people complain and cry about people using the summons, and it's getting frustrated. I've got a couple videos here on the YouTube that people saw me fighting a boss and I'm doing good, and and then second phase, and I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna pop the Spirit Ash and I'm just gonna have it take the boss away from me, draw the aggro, and then I'm gonna kick the boss's butt. And they go, oh, but you used the Spirit Ash, you didn't have to use Spirit Ash, why'd you do that? And I'm like, what's the big deal? It's a tool within the game. It's no different if I made a super OP bleed build or a strength build. Speaking of strength builds, I mean, come on guys, can we be honest here? If somebody's carrying a great shield and a great sword, and it got to the point where they can pretty much face tank anything in the game and then counter it with an attack, you're not complaining about that. You're not crying about these super awesome bleed builds that pretty much kick a boss's behind, or any of the other awesome, amazing builds in the game. No, it's just when somebody uses Spirit Ash that there's a problem. And I don't understand that, because if you've ever played any of the Souls-like games from Software, there has always been a mechanic in there that allows you to use a summon, like Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. They all have the ability to draw a summons into the game and help you play. Elden Ring is no different. And yet, it's a problem. These games were built off the basis of Miyazaki saying, hey, I had issues one time and somebody came out to help me, and then they were gone. And this is why he put this stuff into these games. The fact that, hey, if you're tired of getting your butt kicked by this boss a bazillion times, you can call upon people to help you. The only difference now is you don't have to just worry about a human helping you out. You can actually use the computer, the AI, and they come in and go, okay, great, I'm going to help you fight this boss. And that's just killed that stigma that when you bring in a summons that it is pretty much end game, because it's not. You can bring in a Spirit Ash summon and a boss will kick that spirit's butt. If you've ever fought the end boss, or I'm not going to spoil the bosses for you. I'm just not going to say their names. Just to say that there are a lot of bosses in this game that when you summon a Spirit Ash, they will get demolished pretty damn quickly, or the boss will make a beeline to you and ignore that Spirit Ash. So they do not make the game easier. They are not an end-all be-all. They do not face roll the game. That's not. So if you're one of those people who think that is the case, that is completely wrong. That is not what happens. They are no different than any other player. Yes, they do a great job of aggro, and yes, some of them do a great job of doing some damage, but let's be honest, you are still doing the brunt of the work. Now, I know people are going to say, well, what about the mimic tier? Well, they toned that down. When it first came out, yeah, that thing was amazing. You could leave it alone and it would tank a boss. It would kill a boss by itself. But it's not the old one. It's not the one that we remember when we first got it way back when Elden Ring first came out. So there's that. Now, there was an interview that I read not too long ago where Miyazaki even said that when he plays his games, especially when he plays Shadow of the Erdtree, he used every mechanic, every summons that he could to get through the game. Now, If the creator of the game is telling you that, hey, I am using any and everything that I can to get through the game, who are you to tell somebody else that they can't do this? That's like telling a spellcaster, well, you can't use this particular spell because it's too overpowered. Oh, you can't use this one particular weapon because it causes too much bleed. You have to stop telling people what they can and cannot do in these games. This is what makes the Souls community such a an eyesore. You know, back in the day, we always had that thing where we said that people get good and it was very toxic, and we realized it and we stopped saying it. And now the Souls community has gotten a lot better towards the point where people realize that we're not all bad. We're not all these masculine, super, ultra, we don't care if you can't beat the boss with just level 1 characters that don't play the game. We're not those people. We embrace the community. We want people to play these games. We help you play these games. And that is literally it. But when we talk about the spirit ashes, there's like, oh, wow, there's a problem. There's something going on here. This is bad. I've watched multiple streamers, people who have played through most of the Dark Souls games and Bloodborne and Demon Souls and a lot of other games. And they were fighting the bosses through Shadow of the Erdtree, and they were getting their asses handed to them, like left and right, to the point where they were like, look, I am going to use the Spirit Ash. They beat the boss, and they go, well, so much for that. Who cares? So if we've got these people that you hold so great on these high totem poles that they are the best in these games, and they're telling you that I'm going to use Spirit Ash to be the boss, that should say it all, right? You got to stop trying to gatekeep and stop telling these people that they cannot use the Spirit Ash. It's getting annoying, and honestly, I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. I swear to God, the next time somebody comes to me and goes, Spirit Ashes are cheats, I'm just going to go off. Because I'm so tired of it. I love the game. I love going through and helping people go through the game. But I am so freaking tired of people complaining about these Spirit Ashes. They're no more OP than some of the spells in the game, or some of the weapons in the game, or some of the builds that people are using. And I'm not just talking about the broken builds, but we're not going to go into that right now. All right. I just had to say it. I've been wanting to say it for quite some time. There you go. I've said it. If you like the video, do us a big favor. Leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and I would love to hear what you think about this. Seriously, if you play Souls-like games, or if you have any feedback on it, let me know. And if you don't play this game, why aren't you playing it? It's a fantastic game. Obviously, if you don't like Souls-like games, then probably not do it. But because Elden Ring is, well, not Elden Ring itself, but Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is definitely a little harder than the base Elden Ring. But I do recommend everybody give it a try. That said, thanks for watching the video. It is 4th of July, so go out there, have some fun, eat some food, enjoy your friends and family. And if you're lighting off fireworks, please watch your hands and arms. We don't want you to go hollow on us. Thanks for watching.